let's talk about some very serious issues that I want to talk about today. First of all, I want to hear from you. Again, all of your comments are coming directly to this iPad. I'm going to read them out. I've never read these questions before, and this is how transparent I am as your next mayor of London. The first question I want you to answer is, what borough do you live in? What is your biggest challenge, and what question would you like me to ask when I visit you? You can also submit your questions on my website, brianformayor.london/bus. There's a form. You can also volunteer. You can also download and print out our posters, etc. Second question I want you to answer: are you frustrated with the mayor's street space scheme? It's very hard to say that one. Are you also frustrated with low traffic neighborhoods, something we spoke about yesterday at length? And do you believe the mayor of London is out of touch with the citizens of this city? Answer that question for me now. Thirdly, are you frustrated with the lack of progress in removing flammable cladding from 150 buildings in London? This is the same material that was responsible for the Grenfell tragedy. Leave me your comment. And finally, do you think that free and fair elections should be allowed to take place on May 6th? And do you think we need a new direction? Do you think we need an independent vision? Do you think London needs new leadership? Leave me your comments below, and I'm going to go to them very shortly. Let me talk about some of the issues that the boroughs are facing that I'm in right now here on the ground. Barnet. Barnet is now struggling. The unemployment rate in Barnet could hit 10% this year, according to an article that was released yesterday, which would equate to 30,000 people unemployed in the borough of Barnet. It's really unacceptable. It's one of the reasons my Get London Back to Work policy is my main policy, and it's so important. But Barnet has other struggles as well. Recently, 1,000 signatures for a, quote, no building on Barnet Parks petition. It urged the council to scrap plans to restrict access and reduce space at any Barnet parks by building solar panel farms, expanding substations, or building electricity storage units on our green spaces. The people of Barnet have spoken. They believe that you've got to leave those green spaces to do what they do best and allow a green experience for the citizens and not to build on those. And we support the citizens of Barnet in those aims. Next, let's talk about Enfield. There has been a call to remove Enfield's low traffic neighborhoods that's just been rejected. And 2 large traffic reduction schemes will now remain in place despite claims that they are causing major problems for residents, and I quote, roads are now too dangerous to cross and people are less inclined to walk. The increased pollution and travel times and consequently delays to bus journeys and the emergency services are maximizing the very matters that low traffic networks were supposed to prevent. And again, this shows how much the mayor is out of touch. I spoke with people in Ealing a few days ago that were extremely frustrated with their LTNs, literally almost shouting their frustrations out. We did an entire episode and talk about the struggles of the people in Sutton and Merton and Richmond and Kingston. And so many boroughs are frustrated because LTNs aren't working. The mayor is completely out of touch. He's done them because I think it makes him look like he's green, but they're causing more damage. They need to be consulted with the stakeholders before they're applied, and they need to be monitored with real KPIs. The other thing that people in Enfield are concerned about is that no progress has been made after Grenfell. And we're nearly 4 years later, and almost 150 London buildings, many of those are here in Enfield, where I am right now, are still wrapped in that same flammable cladding, according to the latest government data. And the London Fire Brigade, for which the mayor is responsible, has completed only 4 of the 29 recommendations that have come from the Grenfell inquiry. And meanwhile, just recently, the mayor has decided to defund the fire brigade by £25 million. And this is of real concern to me, the citizens of Enfield, and the citizens of London. There's been a major failure here, and the mayor has refused to take responsibility. In my book, you always go to the top, and the person at the top has to take responsibility. It's been nearly 4 years. We don't see these changes happening, and I'm asking you, Mr. Mayor, what are you going to do about it? Because we are holding you accountable. Next, I want to talk about Harrow, as I think we're making our way towards that borough as we speak. Yesterday was the 16th anniversary of the Harrow Court fire, and this is when 2 brave firefighters tragically died while attending a horrific fire at the Harrow Court building as they bravely went up the tower to attempt to rescue 2 of those people stuck inside. This horrible tragedy was also featured in the 2018 BBC 2 documentary, The Fires That Foretold Grenfell. as one of the 5 fires that foretold and may have prevented the Grenfell disaster in 2017, in which 72 people died. Again, I've had a long conversation with the hip hop artist Low-Key on my show London Real about the Grenfell tragedy. He's been a huge activist when it comes to what was happening, what companies were responsible, how they were complicit with the government, and now how they have still not been held responsible. And now we've got 150 buildings still with the same cladding. We are frustrated, and we look to you, Mr. Mayor. What are you doing? And I think the answer is not enough.